Watoto wa siku hizi by the way, they're just on another level. Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you've been fine. I hope life is treating you kindly and you are treating yourself kindly as well. I am excited to be here today, and the topic we are discussing, Yani, has challenged me too while I was researching on it and just reading about it. I hope you'll be challenged as well. Before we move to the topic, just a quick shout out to everyone who has been watching consistently, everyone who's been liking. I say lots of love and hugs from me. I appreciate all of you. I am super thankful. In this platform, one of the things we do is just try to challenge ourselves to be better versions of ourselves as adults, and eventually growing up to be adults, grown-ups and old people who are fulfilled in the things that we did in our earlier days. So I hope we get the vision of it even as we build and add more content to this platform. Today we'll be discussing taking initiative, and I know it's something we've done in our day-to-day life, and maybe we haven't given much thought to it because we haven't been challenged to think about it. But today I want us to just take a moment, think about what does it mean to take initiative. And I looked up the meaning of taking initiative, and it's acting independently, without having to wait to be told to do something. Yeah, like doing something before you're told to do it. That's simply what it means to take initiative. And we've taken initiative so many times in our lives. Let me shock you guys. You're always taking initiative. Do you know that? You're always taking initiative when you move something out of the path because someone might be hit and trip over it. When a child brings let me tell you, watoto wa siku hizi by the way, they're just on another level. They go and pick diapers and bring to their parents to change them. Can you imagine? That's taking initiative. Or when you find lights are on in a room and you're supposed to conserve electricity, so you switch off the lights because you're taking initiative. So we've taken initiative so many times in our lives, and maybe it's because we do it unconsciously that we never register what we are doing. But I'm here to affirm you today that you've been taking initiative of your life. It doesn't matter how small it was, you are taking initiative. We take initiative in our workplaces, we take initiative at home, we take initiative even in our lives in general. I want us today to focus on taking initiative of our lives. When we take initiative, we act in advance, before someone tells us this is going wrong. We take action immediately. If you realize, for example, let me go back a bit in the places that we can take initiative. For example, in our places, you realize that these minutes are supposed to be taken in a meeting, and there is no one volunteering to do it. You just do it. You just do it because you can, and because probably it will benefit the company or the organization at the end of the day. So let me give another example. You can take initiative when you offer to lead a group. When you offer to lead a group that no one is volunteering at the moment, to be a leader, and you decide, what, I'm going to do it. That's taking initiative. Let's say you are in a chama and you guys are needed to come up with ideas, to push you guys forward. And you decide to share your idea that you've been keeping in your bucket list, something that you wanted to do for yourself, and you decide this thing, by the way, it can benefit the whole team. So you shoot your hand up and you decide, not only am I sharing this idea, I'm also volunteering to foresee it, like to take the lead on it. That's taking initiative. So basically what I'm saying is we take initiative every day in our lives. And today I want us to focus on now taking the initiative in our own personal lives, not in a group setting or in work. Now in your own personal life, we have dreams. We have big dreams, manze. We have dreams. You listen to people talk and you're like, yo, manze, you will be the richest, the next, what do you call him? Jeff Bezos, you'll be the next G who, these big people who have made names for themselves. You listen to people's ideas and you're blown away, literally. And now just reason with me here. You are in a group setting, and maybe it's people you know, or you just met and the vibe is right and you're just sharing ideas, and you listen to people say, they want to own restaurants, they want to have children homes, they want to be, to have a fleet of cars, they want to do big things. People have big ideas out here, and it's amazing, and all dreams are valid. You got this, you can do this. Actually, all dreams are valid, but the thing is, talking about them is so good. It gives you some energy when you're talking about it. But when you come to the actual drawing board and now you have to think about CV planning, CV systems, bringing in more people to help you in that area, it becomes, you start getting worked up and it gets daunting sometimes. You're like, peaks, sio mimi. I'm not the one who came up with that idea. It's too big, There's this quote that is really amazing and people have quoted it in different settings. So I wrote it down, so let me just read it out to you guys. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. I'm bringing this up because of the dreams that we have. They are so powerful and they are great ideas, but when we think about the whole thing now happening, it scares us, and we try to hold back, and we put a pause on it because now it's becoming real and it's starting to scare us. So the reason I thought about talking about initiative today is to encourage us not to give up on our dreams because of how big they are. And the points I'm going to talk about, this is just a disclaimer. It's something that we've had over and over, and the beauty about life is there's nothing new under the sun. Things are always being reinvented. Like, there's nothing new. What you hear today is what you'll hear tomorrow. Like the what do you call them? 7 points to success. They are the same things over and over and over. Hakuna kitu mpya. You won't hear something that is so different. Only it's stated a bit differently, but it's the same thing. So the points that I'll talk about, it's just to remind us and to just affirm us as well that we are on the right track and we got this. As we talk about initiative, I thought about simplifying it and making it less stressful for us. How we can do things in a way that doesn't stress us out, like in a way that makes it fun and like isikuwe such a big burden for us to carry. So I thought about 3 points, and one of them, the first and most critical thing for us to do is to starting small and starting where we are. I know that's something we've had over and over, but it's simply like you can't avoid it. That's how it is. Like, there's no other way of putting it, starting where you are and starting small. You listen to these accomplished bloggers and YouTubers and the questions that they receive on a daily, and one of the questions that that is repeated every now and then is like, what's the best camera to use? And the answer that has stood out for me over all that period of time, listening to them, is the one that you have. The camera that you have is the best camera to start with. Like, whatever you have in your hands, that's what you start with. You can't just skyrocket to evil. You start from nowhere and you just blow up. Well, there's some who have done it, and good for them. And if you are one of them, I need to learn from you. Teach me your ways if you are one of them. I think there's so much beauty in starting small and building your way upwards. You get to appreciate every step that you take. You take nothing for granted. So I really encourage all of us to start small and, using what you have, taking the step that you have. If you are in your humble beginning, it could be a single room, a bedsitter, your 1 bedroom, whatever it is, whether it's in your parents' house and you want to start this big thing, start where you are, you know. Don't try to look for these grand things and big ways so that you can become noticeable or, you know, shoot very fast. You know, the faster you go up, actually it could be also the faster you come down. So I encourage us to appreciate those small steps, those humble beginnings that we take. Yeah, it will remind us where we came from, and, you know, just keep us grounded as well. Yeah, so starting small is very, very, very important. Start small and start with what you have. Yeah, the next point that I think we overlook so many times is systems over goals. And by systems, I mean your routines, you know, the things that you do probably in the morning or in the evening, you know, just to have a systematic way of organizing yourself. And I also appreciate that there are some who are just so spontaneous, and you know, you just jump into the next thing that comes up and you move, and that's okay if it works for you. I mean, we all want that, but at some point, if you are trying to build something for the long haul, it's going to be very important for you to have a system that works for you. I like something by James Clear from Atomic Habits. If you've not read it, manze, you need to read this book. It's a manual for life. There's something he says: we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our system. For example, you have your goal up here, and the system, like the things that you are doing to get to this goal, is here. Do you even think, like even in your simplest of thoughts, do you think it's possible to get here without having to raise your systems? Like, you don't fall here, you don't rise to this level if your system imefika hapa. So simply what you're saying is, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You know, goals are nothing if you don't have systems. Goals are nothing if you don't have a way of accomplishing it. Let's take an example of someone who wants to open a restaurant. I have a friend who is a chef, and this is what she tells me, that if you are the one preparing breakfast, you make sure that you have prepared the things that will be used for breakfast the night before, so that in the morning it's easy for you guys to move very fast. Or the one who was on duty the previous day leaves things ready for the next morning. For hotels and restaurants, we know that they open maybe from 7 a.m. to 8 with the COVID times. So imagine getting to your workplace at 6 and there's nothing ready. You know, you don't know where the milk is, you don't know where the, you know, eggs are, or whatever you need to prepare, and you're starting from scratch. Can you imagine how hectic it will be for you? So it's important to have things prepared the night before, so that when you come in, it's just you start preparing the breakfast. So imagine now you don't have a system. Already this is a system actually this is a system. You know, you preparing the night before for the morning. That's a system. Imagine now having no system at all, and you hoping to wing things. Not everything works with the winging, by the way. There are things that will flop in your face, and it will cost you maybe your career, and yeah, it's a whole other discussion. But my point is, let's try to have systems in place. If you're trying to maybe build a platform where you talk about things, or you start preparing yourself early, you start maybe you say, in a day I'll be challenging myself to talk in front of the mirror for like 15 minutes, so that I can build my confidence and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So systems are really important, and as I said, I appreciate people who just randomly start on things and go with it. But if you're trying to build something for the long run, you got to have your systems in order. And as you said, you start small. Even for the systems, it's not you trying to overdo or overwork yourself. You'll get tired, by the way, if your goal is to do so much at once. Systems are a way for you to be consistent at something. You know, it's about consistency, not overdoing or overworking or outdoing yourself. For example, I'll still use the example of the restaurant. If you want to own a restaurant in the future, you don't just do everything at once. You know, everything builds up gradually. You know, Do you know how to cook? Can you do your own dishes? Is in the case when you don't have enough employees to do dishes for you, can you be the one to serve the customers or your clients? Have you been practicing? Those are the things that you start building up as early as now, so that now when you have your restaurant, like if anything happens, God forbid, and you run short of your employees, you can man the place yourself. So that's why I'm saying you start with what you have. As you said earlier, you start with what you have. Working, you being your own boss and being your own, you supervise yourself. You're the one cooking, you're the one, learning new things, you're the one doing everything, so that now when you have the people to work for you, it's easier for you to be able even to direct them and just show them the steps to take and all that kind of stuff. If you learn to plan yourself earlier, you have lesser things to worry about. You understand what I'm saying? Like for example, let's go back to the breakfast example, yeah, and shout out to this friend who is trending because of this example. So let's go back to the breakfast example. If you have everything prepared the night before, it means in the morning you have fewer things to worry about. Yeah, you'll be thinking about other things now, things that will build your business. Yeah, you'll be thinking about how can I add more value to my customers or my clients. You won't be thinking about now you're going to get milk at that time of the day. You should be thinking about other things. So that's why systems are really important. The next point is quite short and holds a lot of water. It's reality check, which is I call it reality check because it's reality. And the point is having the thought that failure is an option. Yeah, failure is an option, by the way. If you're starting anything, failure is an option. Don't disregard that bit. You might go in with so much excitement and you forget to plan for those moments when you failed, and it could really be disappointing and frustrating, but you have to prepare for that. You have to have that in the back of your mind. So failure is an option, and the reason these points, like they're building each other up. You have to start small so that when you fail at this point, you don't have so much to lose. Now imagine you went full swing in and you lose clients. You don't have, like, just compare these two scenarios. There's one who started small and there's this other one who didn't even take time to plan their business, and just because they have money, they think they can get in and everything will just work out so well. But now you realize this person who took time to build themselves, at least they have failed, they have made a few failures or small failures, and it's easy for them to recover really fast in case of anything. But this person who jumped in thinking now, I'm here and I'm about to show them how it's done, this person has a lot to lose if he or she fails. Yeah, it's important to know or appreciate the small beginnings. This person who got in because they have the money, but they have no experience, they have no systems in place. This person has so much to lose if anything should go wrong. Yeah, imagine now they have a restaurant already that is established, but they don't know how to serve their customers. Their employees are not well prepared. They don't have the skills that they need to have. They don't know even what goes into running a restaurant. So imagine how fast this person will come down. They'll just come down really fast, and they won't even have break. They won't even have places to hang on. It will be so sad for them. And that's why I'm saying we need to plan to fail. And it's easy for you if you've started small, because you are able to manage the failures really well. You're able to work around them. But don't get me wrong, I have nothing against people who start and they skyrocket and they have everything figured out. That's good for you, manze. It's really good. I have nothing against that. But if you are if you want to thrive, like if you want this for the long haul, please plan to fail. Yeah, like usingie ukitaka kufail, but have failure in your mind, like just know that it's something that could happen along the way. Yeah. Yes, I believe that's all I have for you today, guys. Let's take initiative, in our personal lives. I decided to focus on personal lives because in this channel we are all about building ourselves to be better versions of ourselves, even as older adults and eventually in our old age, so that when we look back we won't have a lot of regrets. Yes, and it's not all about being serious, and initiative isn't all about career development and professional life. No, we can also take initiative in our friendships. You can take initiative by, maybe if you realize there's a person you haven't talked to in a long time, you can call them up. That's taking initiative. Sometimes it's not about business as usual. Like you can take initiative in the fun things as well. Maybe you don't know how, true story, maybe you didn't know how to ride a bike and now you know. If I do say so myself. So take initiative even in the fun things in life, because when you're old and gray, sometimes the things that you will remember most are the fun things in life. So take initiative in that area as well. So that's all I had for you guys. Thank you so much for watching till this minute. I applaud you. I am grateful. And let's take initiative of our lives. All right.